What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to Blazers Uprise Live. Today, we got picks against the spread, and we got a preview of tonight's game against the Toronto Raptors. That is what we're going to touch on today. We may also touch on some of the canceled games that is popping up around the NBA. You have some COVID situations to deal with. The NBA had a good streak from opening night, or the 23rd, to about the 10th. They didn't have any canceled games. That's almost 3 weeks. That's actually pretty dang good, but they're starting to there's issues popping up. Yeah, so we knew it was gonna happen. I'm not one of those people that thinks the sky is falling or anything, but we will touch on that. But first, it's 3:50. We got games tipping off in 20 minutes, so let's not waste any time. Let's hop into picks against the spread. Now, I finally made a records sheet. These are our records. This is what we went last time, and this is our records on double downs. We are missing a game in there. We will try and fill it in next time, but I thought it'd be cool to include our double down records there to see if it was helping us or if it was hurting us. So if you can tell, the veterans, me, Eric, and Chat, are doing pretty well. The mods, they're getting their rookie lumps right now, but I feel like one of them is going to have a cool comeback story. Also, for whichever one of the mods wins out, I'll give you guys something special. I'll give you guys I don't know, maybe $100 or something like that for whichever mod does the best amongst you three. And then I'll give some to the other two of you. I appreciate all you guys do for the community in moderating what has been a hectic chat so far this year. So let's hop into picks against the spread. The first game we got is the Cavs versus the Grizzlies. This game is being played in Cleveland, tipping off at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Now, Westbrook is not here, but we do have his picks. So, for me, are there some serious injury issues with the Cavs? Because I was surprised to see the Grizzlies doing so well. I'm sure Chat will let me know.
I know Sexton was questionable to play. I'm guessing that he's not playing, and that's why the spread, because it was 1.5 in favor of Cleveland last night, and it switched. Reese is saying Sexton is playing.
Well, then I'm definitely taking Cleveland. I was probably going to take Cleveland anyway. Cleveland has been playing pretty well with some guys hurt. They've been playing decent basketball, so I'm going to take the Cavs there.
Is Ja playing, maybe? I don't know.
I didn't expect him to be back yet, so I mean, maybe that sways things, but I also forgot to match the colors on this, but hopefully that'll be the only inconsistency today with the graphics. Let me pull this up on my phone so I can see. You got
Westbrook's
Trevin
going with the Grizzlies.
Westbrook's going with the Grizzlies. That's not the Grizzlies. All right. Well, there's still a couple things that I gotta sort out. I'll have to remember that later and switch it back to Toronto. But all right, there we got. Reese said he's going. I gotta pull this up on my phone real quick. I got too much on my screen. You got Trevin going with the Cavs. You got Reese. Oh, he said let me double check. I thought he said let me double down. What's your pick, Eric?
I'm gonna go with the Cavs as well.
All right. Something I just realized, we don't have Westbrook here to count chat. So, Reese or Trevin, do any of you want to step up in place of Westbrook and count for us today?
Might bring us some good luck.
Yeah, it's looking heavy Cavs for chat.
Yeah.
It looks heavy Cavs for chat. So then we need Reese's, and we are good to go. Reese says his Wi-Fi is lagging, and he says Cavs. So you got Chat going with the Cavs, you got Reese going with the Cavs, you got Westbrook going out on an island for the Grizzlies. I kind of hope Westbrook does well today, man. Like, I wouldn't mind Grizzlies winning this and helping him get a game back in here, because he was 0-6 on what's today? Is today Monday or Thursday? Today's Monday. Yeah, last Thursday he was 0-6. So anyway, that's game one.
NBA forever, that'd be great if you could do it. Thank you. Just give me the first 15. If there's less than 15, just give me whatever number that is.
Yeah, if one of the mods could do it too, if we have two people doing it, then we can, corroborate with each other. So here we go, game number 2. You got two surprisingly solid teams so far this year, Charlotte Hornets against the New York Knicks. Both are at 500. This game is being played in Charlotte. The Hornets are a 5-point favorite. I am going to go with the New York Knicks on this one. I like the way the Knicks have been playing, and they've been a solid bet for me in previous games. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that, but I feel like they've been a solid bet for me. And they're playing really well. Julius Randle's playing well. It's I just want the that I didn't mean to change that. I just want the points in this one. Eric, what are you going with?
Yeah, I'm going with the points too.
Right.
Went against that last time and it killed me.
What's Westbrook going with?
Trevin's with the Knicks, and Westbrook's taking the Hornets.
Westbrook out on an island. Reese says Reggie Bullock isn't playing. What a difference maker. Shoot, I regret my pick already.
He was actually averaging... Oh, no, I'm thinking of Alec Burks. Is that who you mean?
If Burks was out, that would actually mean something.
Burks has been out the last week.
Yeah, I mean, they've still...
But he averaged 20-plus points the first few games, yeah.
Still got some players there playing well. So we need Reese and we need Chet.
7-5 Knicks so far. Hornets for Reese.
No, I didn't see.
Didn't see that either.
7-6. All right, so this is a toss-up between Hornets and Knicks. But there's the 8th pick for the Knicks and 7th for the Hornets. So it's very closely Knicks here for Chat. It's 8-7, as close as you can get. They're going with the Knicks. This game will be interesting to see. We got split vote here. The third game we got is Orlando versus Milwaukee. Milwaukee is favored by 10 points. Orlando is, of course, without Markelle Fultz, who tore his ACL and is out for the year. They're without Jonathan Isaac, who's out for the year to begin with. But they've still been a solid team. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not making this first pick. You can make this first pick, and the Waz can make this. I'll make this pick last.
Okay. I like the Bucks in this one, so I'm gonna take the Bucks.
10-point spread. Eric usually takes the points, so that is a little bit surprising. But I mean, there was like a huge spread with them earlier this year, and I think I picked them and they covered, and it was like a 15-point spread or something insane. I don't remember. My memory's not too great on that, but
just like with the Knicks memory, it was a 16-point spread and they didn't cover.
Yeah. So Trevin is going with the Bucks. I'm gonna go with the Magic. I'm just gonna take the points in this one. Reese is going with the Bucks as well. I'm cool with being out on an island on this one. It'd be nice to gain a game. What's Westbrook going with?
Westbrook is going with the Bucks as well.
Alrighty.
8-7 Bucks is the final.
And then Chad's going Bucks.
Just a reminder, please don't vote twice or try to change your vote later because it confuses things.
Yep. So anyway, alrighty. I am out on an island with the Magic.
Dude,
I am cool.
That's too straight that it's been 8-7 though for Chat. So these games are hard to pick.
Yeah, Chat's very, very split. Slim says, can you guys do a video on how to get into NBA betting? We don't actually bet on these games in terms of like actually betting. This is just, our segment.
Or do we?
I mean, we need to put something on the line for the end of the year. But yeah, you got Washington versus Phoenix for game number 4. This being played in the nation's capital. The Suns are favored by 5.5 points. Thank goodness this channel isn't monetized, because right now just saying the nation's capital might get the video demonetized. But yeah, you got the 2-8 Wizards versus the 7-3 Suns. The Suns have a 5.5 point spread. I am going to roll with Phoenix in this one.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Suns. They've been playing well, and the Wizards, I mean, this might actually help them, but Westbrook is out for the next week or so with a calf strain. So yeah, they're dealing with all kinds of both illness and injury issues. So
this will likely be my double down. I feel very confident in this one. I think this is going to be a clean sweep of a vote. I expected the spread to be a lot higher. Chat's already rolling with the Suns. What's Westbrook rolling with?
Westbrook is picking the Suns as well.
Alrighty.
And
And then Trevin, you want to go out on an island and pick the Wizards, man?
he already said Suns.
Okay. Bless
He
you.
was the first. He was like one of the first people.
Oh, yeah, I missed it. Clean sweep of orange here. Everybody picking the Phoenix Suns. The fifth game of 7 we have tonight is Atlanta versus the Philadelphia 76ers, who... I mean, are they rolling out the last lineup as last game?
No, Embiid's playing, but yeah, I think they have 9 dressing tonight. But yeah, Simmons is out. Was announced a couple weeks ago.
I don't like picking this game. Let's pick last, Eric. Let's let chat and all the mods pick this game first, because I don't like picking this game right now. I really don't. Reese says 76ers.
I'm ready for my pick.
All right, who are you rolling with? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, Westbrook's taking 76ers. I am taking 76ers as well. Since I don't like this game, I'm taking the points.
All right. Chat's going
8-7
Sixers.
Sixers.
Screw it. I'm going to take Atlanta in this one. Try and gain a game on everyone. I'll go out on the island again. I'm cool with that. I'll be an Atlanta Hawks and Orlando Magic fan tonight. And Trevin is also going with the Sixers. So once again, I'm out on an island. Two of the 5 games, I'm the only one betting for Orlando and Atlanta. We'll see if that works out for me tonight. 6th game we got Sacramento versus Indiana. Indiana is a 5.5 points favorite. Mods, give us your picks. What's Westbrook's pick? Let's just go with his first.
His is Indiana.
Indiana. All right. And then
Reese
I'm
is
also going to go Indiana. I think this is pretty, I don't know, safe pick. Sacramento's just been inconsistent, so it's hard to pick in games they play in. Look like you got chat going Pacers as well. I can see a flood of Pacers. Eric or Trevin.
Well,
12-3 Pacers. Holmes is questionable. Do either of you want to go out on an island here on this one, or are you rolling with the blue?
Trevin went Pacers already.
He makes his picks too fast, actually.
I'm gonna go with you guys with the Pacers.
All right, clean sweep with Indiana
Voting
here.
with my head, not my wanting to gain a game or lose a game.
Yeah, I feel it. And then last game we got Portland versus Toronto. Portland is a 5-point favorite. Eric, what are you thinking?
This really scares me, but I'm gonna take Portland.
Yeah, you haven't picked against Portland yet this year. Eric is going with Portland. I mean, do we really expect Portland to play 3 good games in a row? I mean, it was surprising that they played 2 good games in a row. So, there you go. That's my pick.
12-3.
Figured chat would be going for Blazers.
Westbrook is taking Blazers, and he's doubling down.
Westbrook's going Blazers. Trevin's going Blazers. Reese is going Blazers. I'm going Raptors, all right? Not necessarily saying the Raptors are going to win. I think this is going to be a very close game. I don't expect the Blazers to play 3 good games in a row. The Raptors are coming off maybe a get-right performance. They're a well-coached team. They just, completely... Wait, yeah, they had a get-right performance against the Kings. I guess they lost to the Warriors. I forgot the Warriors game. But bro, they shut Steph Curry down. Steph Curry had maybe his worst shooting night of his career with the way they smothered him. So they're going to smother Dame like that. I mean, we generally struggle with teams that play defense quite like they do. So I don't know. I'm just going to take the points in this one. I hope the Blazers win by Win by 4. I'll take a 4-point win. You know what? Honestly, I want a blowout win too, so I can relax. But yeah, I think this game will be very close. So that's why I'm going to take the points and the Raptors in that one. So those are our picks. Everybody. So who's the double down for chat?
Chat's double down looks like it's going to be the Cavs -2.5 against the Grizzlies.
All right. These logos are still tied a little bit. I gotta fix them a little.
And then
more.
yeah.
So this game,
Trevin's
chat's
doubling
doubling
down
down
on
on.
the Suns. Interesting.
All right. I will also double down on the Suns. Westbrook's doubling down on the Blazers. So we got Reese and you left.
Reese is doubling down on the Blazers too.
All right, Reese is doubling down on the Blazers. And you are...
I'm going to double down on... I'm going to go... I'm actually going to go Blazers too. Screw it.
Alrighty. You got Reese, Eric, and Westbrook doubling down on the Blazers. Me and Trevin are doubling down on the Suns. I think doubling down on the Suns is probably the best pick here. And then you got Chat doubling down on the Cleveland Cavaliers. So that is picks against the spread. Once again, before we head out, these are our records. We'll see if me or Chat can take the lead, or if one of our mods can make up ground today. Best of luck to everyone.
Well, Chat and I have all the same picks, so it's going to come down to 3 games between that you are on an island for to see what happens.
If the Cavs win, or if the Cavs cover the spread, or if they win, and then if the Blazers lose, Chat would actually gain a game since they'd win their double down and you'd lose yours. So despite all the picks being the same, they could gain 1 game, but that's the most they could gain. So they could tie you, hypothetically, if, there will be a game difference if, just depending on double downs. So that's why double downs is fun, because even if everybody has the same picks, you can still create a little bit of difference there. But I feel like I'm going against the grain in a lot of these, so either I'm going to gain a lot of ground or I'm going to lose a lot of ground. I feel like that's how it's going to be today. So fingers crossed and whatnot. We will also start tweeting out these picks on our Twitter account in the future. We definitely want to do that so we can easily keep track of who has who as the night progresses and then look back over. I feel like that would be a way everybody could kind of keep track if they wanted to. Anyway, that's picks against the spread. So now, let's preview the last game that we picked, and that is the Raptors facing the Blazers. The Raptors coming into Moda Center with a record of 2-7. This is the 4th game on their road trip. Let me pull up their schedule and just kind of pull up their stats and everything here, just so I know what I'm talking about. This is their 4th game on a Western Conference road trip. They lost last night to the Golden State Warriors, so they are on the second night of a back-to-back. They lost by a score 106-105. A Pascal Siakam turnaround jumper missed as time expired. In that game, they held Steph Curry. Apologies if any ads play, by the way. Yeah, no Kia commercial. They held Steph Curry to 11 points and 6 assists on 2 for 16 shooting, 1 for 10 from 3. So it's not going to be a walk in the park for Dame tonight, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like this year Dame is the type of player to go off against tough defenses at times and not do much against soft defenses and let CJ go off. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Dame really struggles tonight, kind of like Steph did, just because of the way they defend. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Dame popped off for an efficient 30-point game. It'll be interesting to see how they defend Dame, though, and how we adjust to that. If we don't, I assume they're going to trap and try and get the ball out of his hands. If we don't do a good job of dealing with that, there will be some criticism in the post-game show, because we've seen it time and time and time again when teams trap us. That, we've seen the trap. It's kind of the MO. It's kind of the blueprint to beating the Portland Trailblazers. You trap Dame, get the ball out of his hands. We've seen it, so we should know how to counter it. So we'll see how that develops tonight. on the floor.
Apparently, they're starting Siakam at center tonight. They've
That'll
been
be
they've benched Alex Len and Aaron Baines in recent games, and they've been playing Chris Boucher as backup center. But yeah,
so okay.
so Dame should be able to get to the rim easily, and we should be able to exploit them inside with Nurkic and Kanter. But yeah,
Yeah, they started yesterday. They started Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, Norman Powell, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam. That is a very undersized team. They honestly didn't really get beaten on the boards. They had 13 offensive rebounds to the Warriors 12, but they lost the rebounding battle 51-48. So the Warriors didn't really punish them. I hope we punish them a bit more on the boards if they go with that small lineup. They did not. They played Chris Boucher as the backup center. Let me just talk about Chris Boucher. That is not a good matchup for Enes Kanter. This is not a good match. This is not a good matchup. This team playing the rotation that they played yesterday is not a good matchup for Enes Kanter. It is a good matchup for Harry Giles. But we will see Enes Kanter tonight. Don't get it confused. Harry Giles is not going to play, even though it's a better matchup for Giles than Kanter. It's going to be Enes Kanter. And I feel like I'm going to get frustrated tonight because their bench lineup is going to start going off, especially Chris Boucher, who yesterday had 15 points in 24 minutes, 6 for 10 from the field, 2 for 3 from the three-point line. He's a perimeter-based big, and he's like decently quick, has some agility.
he's like Capella that can shoot threes.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't like that part of it. Offensively, you're talking about Norman Powell is big enough to play small forward out, like, because he has super long arms. Height wise, he's like 6'4", but he has a very long wingspan, so they're fine playing that. But Lowry and VanVleet is more undersized than our backcourt. Lowry is a solid defender, but VanVleet, I've never been a fan of his defense. I know a lot of people say he's a solid defender, but I don't know. I feel like CJ will be able to have his way with him if VanVleet's on him. The thing I'm worried about is who guards Siakam then. Do you put Nurkic out on him, or do you maybe put Nurkic on Anunoby and put Covington on Siakam?
Yeah, that's probably the play. I don't think Nurk can... You don't want Siakam to get going with his struggles, so you don't want him to get confidence early. Because unlike the game last year where Nasir Little shut him down here in Portland for 3 quarters and then he went off in the 4th quarter, I don't think he has the confidence to do that this year. If he's struggling again, it's going to continue to weigh on him and he's going to have a bad game. So I think we got to put Covington on him early.
Yeah, Anunoby's not bad with the ball in his hands either, though, so that might be tough as well. I don't know. Like, it definitely presents some matchup issues. But here's the thing, though. Norman Powell, you can put... If you wanted to keep Nurkic on Siakam, you could probably put CJ on Anunoby, and you could probably put Dame on Norman Powell, and you could probably put Derrick Jones Jr. and Robert Covington on VanVleet and Lowry. Normally you can't do that, but they're so undersized 1 through 4 that I feel like I'd be fine with like CJ on Anunoby, who's their 4. And normally, CJ, you're not going to want to put on any 4s in the NBA, but I feel like Anunoby, like CJ could be fine with that. And then their 3 is Norman Powell, who's only 6'4". You could put Dame on him and be fine with that. And then you could use, our small forward and our power forward to guard both their guards with Lowry and VanVleet. That could be something interesting matchup-wise. I don't know. There's some interesting matchups in this game.
Yeah, see, this would be a good game to have kind of a matchup zone where basically the players just run to a certain area of the floor and then pick up whoever is in that area. I mean, obviously you can't camp in the paint, but who's ever playing down low or closest to the paint, that would be who Nurkic guards and so on with all the positions.
We could switch 1 through 4 in the starting lineup. If Nurkic is guarding Siakam, and Siakam's their starting 5, we could switch 1 through 4. And they'll probably switch 1 through 4. Because Covington isn't the type to like punish a guard on him. Derrick Jones Jr. isn't the type to punish a guard on him. So that's kind of the issue, like, with our offense going up against them. They'll probably switch 1 through 4. They could honestly
That's what they
possibly
should
switch
do.
one. They could switch like Siakam with like Anunoby too if they wanted to, because I think Anunoby's strong enough to at least give Nurkic a battle on the inside, and Siakam has decent agility on the perimeter. I don't know. So like I expect them to switch. That could create some issues. If they play super aggressively, it'll be easy for them to scramble and rotate out without giving up a mismatch necessarily.
But since there's no good matchups on our end either, we should just switch everything too,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 through 4. Like, I'm fine with Dame on Anunoby. I'm fine with Rocco Jones on any of Anunoby, Lowry, Powell, Van Vliet. I'm fine with McCollum and Dame on any of those guys. Like, so here's the thing, though. We're probably going to drop and let Van Vliet hit a bunch of jumpers off the screen. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm worried about tonight. We could come up and trap and maybe switch a lot of these screens and be fine, but I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see the way these matchups play out tonight. I'm actually very intrigued just looking at their roster. I mean, you look at some of the names they have off the bench. Their bench is not good. You're talking about a bench that outside of Chris Boucher only had 8 points against the Warriors. They were playing Utah Watanabe 9 minutes. They played Stanley Johnson 9 minutes. Stanley Johnson is in the rotation for some reason. He's horrible. He's always been horrible. But he actually led him. He was a plus 10 in those 9 minutes. So, I don't know. Maybe he figured it out finally. Actually, I want to look at his stats. Because I've seen a couple box scores, and he's actually been playing for them. Yeah, he's shooting 14% from 3 and averaging 1.4 points per game. Yeah, he's still trash. But they got Chris Boucher, Watanabe, Stanley Johnson, Malachi Flynn, who's a rookie, was the last pick of the first round, if I recall correctly, in this year's draft. And then you got Terrence Davis as well. So not a bench that's going to impress you. But given the way they play, and given, like, Chris Boucher, didn't mean for that to rhyme, but and then that lineup going up against the Melo of Cantor front court, I wouldn't be surprised if they outplayed our bench, if their bench outplayed our bench, even though we have more talent on ours.
Yeah. The thing I'm worried about the most is you see, like, with the struggling team, if they're playing a bad defense, that can give them a lot of confidence early. Said the same thing about Siakam. So, yeah, a lot of those guys might be struggling this year, especially like Siakam. But, like, if they're getting good shots against our defense, they might play really well, and then all of a sudden we're struggling against a Raptors team who doesn't have a good record, and it looks really bad to lose to them, but they're a lot better than their record is. So I just hope they don't use this game to get right. I hope they stay down for at least one more game.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking of their get right game being the Kings, because they put 144 points on the Kings a couple games ago. Their schedule just disappeared from me. Oh wait, no, because I'm on their box score. Yeah, so here's kind of the progression of their season. They lose opening night against the Pelicans by 14. Then they lose on the road versus the Spurs by 5. They lose on the road against the Sixers by 7. They beat the Knicks at home by 17. They lose to the Pelicans on the road by 4. They lose at home to the Celtics by 12. They lose on the road to the Suns by 8. Then this their Western Conference road trip that they're on, they beat the Kings 144 to 123. And then they lose to the Warriors 106 to 105. So they are 2-7, but a lot of those games have been close, and they've faced a lot of decent to good teams. So it's not a team that should be overlooked.
Yeah, for sure. We just gotta, I mean, despite them having a pretty good roster, we have a more talented team, in my opinion. There's no way we should struggle in this game. And for all the mismatches we talk about on defense, like, we need to be able to take advantage of those on the other end, and Nurk should have a big game tonight. There's no excuses for him not being able to have his way with guys who are a lot smaller than him. So, yeah, it's fine if we're giving up points on one end, if we're taking advantage of it on the other end. The frustrating part will be if we're doing ISO stuff and our guards are taking tough shots when our whole team is giving up good shots on the other end.
Yep, agreed. So let's just look at just some of the stats. They're led in scoring this season by Fred VanVleet, who got that big extension this past offseason. He's averaging 22 points and 6 assists per game. He's shooting 46% from the field and 40% from three. He's been phenomenal for them. Pascal Siakam has struggled shooting the three ball. He's averaging 20 a game for them, as well as 4.5 assists. Kyle Lowry's averaging 19 and 7. So those are kind of the three guys to watch for there. They are getting 14 points per game from Chris Boucher off the bench through their first 9 games, and he's only playing 21 minutes a game. So I don't know why they're not starting him at this point, because just looking on a per minute basis, he's been phenomenal.
And Nurse uses him in a lot of different ways. Like he'll trap, kind of like poor man's Anthony Davis is how they use him. Like he'll be all over the court. So you'll see him double teaming Dame sometimes. You'll see him protecting the rim a lot, and he's really good at both of those things.
Yep. OG Anunoby is struggling from the three-point line this year. He is their fifth leading scorer at 12 a game. He's only shooting 28% from three. So maybe you can get away with putting Nurkic on him, and Nurkic could leave him. But I mean, I expect that to pick back up. He was in the upper 30s last year from the three-point line, so I don't want this to be a game where he all of a sudden gets hot and knocks down 5 or 6 triples. Norman Powell is averaging a little under 11 points per game for them. He's shooting 42% from the three-point line, but only 36% from the field, which is a bit weird there. He's shooting above 40% from the three-point line and under 30% from inside the arc. So he, is the type of player that could give us fits just because we struggle to guard the three-point line. But that's basically kind of the statistical rundown there. The next closest guy is Terrence Davis, averaging 7 a game. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. This is an interesting team to see just because they are a good team and a well-coached team that is struggling to win games early on this season. And it's against a Portland Trail Blazers team that's played 2 good games in a row. Here's the thing, though. The more good games they play in a row, the less confidence I have in the next game.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, so far this season, this is the first time they've put together 2 good games in a row. But also, like, the first game was against the Minnesota Timberwolves without Karl Anthony Towns. How good were we really? You know what I mean? I don't know. But it seems like after every big blowout win, except for we just put 2 blowout wins together, but after every big blowout win, we have a letdown. And that's not just this year, that's previous years as well. So you're coming home playing a team that is 2-7, but is far better than their record, and a well-coached team that knows how to trap, just traps Steph, just gave Steph fits. Like, this is not going to be an easy game to win. This is why I picked Toronto in picks against the spread. It's not going to be a walk in the park, man.
Yeah, so this will be a great game to have our offense not be stagnant, to move the ball around. We should be able to get shots, even though they're a good and well-coached defensive team. You can still get shots if you move the ball around, especially with the size disadvantage. Mm-hmm. So we should be able to exploit that on the offensive end if we're not running plays, in particular that little cross court or cross paint screen that we saw run once in the third quarter of the last game. If we don't do stuff like that, I think we might struggle to score. But hopefully, the coaches have figured out that against a team like this, we need to move the ball. And yeah, like you said, it'll be interesting to see if we do that or if we just go right back to our old offense.
Yeah. Here's what's funny. ESPN's BPI, which is Basketball Power Index, actually gives Toronto a 65% chance of winning this game. I was a bit surprised to see that. I don't know why exactly they're...
Even though the Blazers are favored.
Yeah, even though the Blazers are favored and playing at home and the Raptors are on a second night of a back-to-back. Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand what went into that prediction from ESPN, but yeah, just throwing it out there. Yeah, so I mean, this will be a fun game. I think it'll be an entertaining game. It's a game I obviously hope we win. I wouldn't mind winning close. It'd be kind of fun to have a close game that we win, of course, because a couple blowouts.
For yours. benefit.
No, just for entertainment, man. Not for my benefit at all. But I mean, I just want to see us come out play a good brand of basketball. That's what I want to see. If they play out of their minds, then we play a good brand of basketball. Then so be it. I just want to see a good brand of basketball. I want to see us move the ball. I want to see us defend well and adjust if we need to. It's as simple as that. That's what I'm looking for tonight.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I just something tells me it'll be fairly close, but we'll get fouled a little bit at the end and hit some free throws and cover the spread. That's why I went Blazers.
Yeah. Shoot, man. I mean, honestly, if I had to pick who wins, it's a toss-up for me at this point. It's a toss-up for me. It would be nice to go to 6-4. You got a game against the Kings again coming up, and then you play the Pacers, who are a solid team, and then you have a bunch of bottom feeders pretty much all at home after that. So you got a stretch of 2 and 3 games. This game, the upcoming Kings game, and the Pacers game to follow it, our goal should be 2-1. Right? You play 2 playoff caliber teams, as well as a team you just beat the game previously, so they might have some adjustments and they might be able to bounce back. And it's a Kings team that, isn't one of the worst teams in the league. I'd say, they're definitely a lottery team, but I think they're a back half of the lottery type of team. So 2-1, I wouldn't be like thrilled with 2-1. I'd be thrilled with 3-0, but 2-1 I'd be satisfied with out of these 3 games.
Yeah, what I'm looking for is we've seen time and time again over the last season plus now where they win a couple games and it seems like they're turning the corner, and then they just lay an absolute dud the next game. And it seems like complacency has been setting in when they have a good game. It's like, oh, we figured it out. We're back now. Like, we could just show up and beat a team like Toronto, who's 2-7 or whatever. And that's not the case. You can't just show up and win these games. I mean, yeah, you can sometimes get lucky and have Dame go off for 60 points or whatever, but you can't rely on that. So I just want to see them, whether they win or lose this game, like, be coached well, be everyone leave it out on the floor and not seeming like they just showed up thinking they were going to win.
Yeah, I mean, but the Raptors are... Here's the thing. Most teams that are 2-7, I'd be worried about us not taking them seriously, but the Raptors are the Raptors. They have enough respect. I mean, I don't expect them to not take this Raptors team seriously. So, that's our recap. What else do we want to get into? I want
to answer this Rude Harbor question. He says, why do I keep seeing Dame get so much hate on Twitter? I will answer that for you. It's because there's a group, including some people that are in here right now, that slander other team stars when they have a bad game. So they dish it back. They're waiting for Damian Lillard to have a bad game so they can call out all those people who are calling out them. So it's not a huge group, but there's a small group of Blazer fans that have started that whole trend. And it's fun to hate on Westbrook, and like almost every fan base did that. But when they started going in on guys like Curry and those kind of guys who are like proven winners and stuff like that, then it becomes you get these whole fan bases that get a little anxious just waiting for Dame to have bad games so they can jump on him.
I don't know why people even engage, man. Like what I don't get it. It's like somebody will slander Dame and obviously just like be trying to just give Dame a bunch of crap for one performance, and you'll have a Blazer fan post it in the group chat saying, "Oh my goodness, he's slandering Dame. Come help me fight back." In his replies, it's like, why? Though it's so dumb to me, man. That's the one part of that. I mean, not the one part. That's one of many parts of NBA Twitter that I can't stand. Like, if somebody's trashing Dame, don't put stock into it. Like, don't reply. They're trying to get you riled up, But then here's the thing: if you go and trash other stars, expect other fan bases to do it to your stars. So it's either, like you reap what you sow on Twitter. So I just don't understand. I just don't understand the whole thing. I understand kind of what happens, but I don't understand the motive from Blazer fans that participate and like just cause that to escalate and all that.
Yeah, like I mean, there was just a post where someone said like Luka is a better scorer and the shooting between Dame and Luka are equal. And I mean, it's just stupid. Like, I mean,
yeah, like
that guy's just dumb. Like, it's not even worth arguing with that guy because, like, and then he tried to argue that Hamza's getting into it with him, and they're trying to argue that Luka gets more defensive attention and all this crap, and it's like you're not going to win the argument.
You're not going to convince them. You're not going to have a logical argument with somebody who thinks that. So what are you going to get out of it? You're just going to waste your time and go nowhere. So that's why I don't understand why people even engage, man. Yeah, you could go and say, oh, look at the 3-point percentage. Luka shot 32% last year. Dame shot 40%. And then, oh, well, the defensive attention. And it's like, that's something that's, like, too subjective to, like, definitively argue. You're not going to get anywhere, so don't even engage. I would have maybe engaged, like, 6 to 8 months ago with tweets like that. But I came to realize, man, like, you gain nothing out of it. So, like, those types of tweets I just ignore, right? Like, I follow people... I'll just admit it. I'm not going to say anybody necessarily, but there's some people I follow on Twitter that I have muted because they constantly engage in that stuff. And I want them to be like, why you unfollow me? You know, that type of stuff. But like they constantly engage in that type of stuff, and that stuff just like pops up on my timeline and just gives me a headache, and it's just silly, and I just don't want it on my timeline, so I'll mute them.
I started muting a bunch of people today for the first time. Anyone that posted any like LaMickey or LaFraud or all that crap.
I want stuff on my timeline that I want to see. So I don't know. I don't like that type of stuff. Twitter's just been off the rails lately, man. But Nathan, why do you think you're muted?
But yeah, because I got into it a few weeks ago with some Westbrook fans, and they turned it really dirty. But
and I was like, Eric, why'd you even engage?
Yeah, it was my fault for even saying anything. But now, like, a lot of the Westbrook fans are turning on Westbrook because he's sucked this year, and yeah, it's kind of funny to see. But I don't know. It's just. I saw this last night, like, oh, Curry's the most protected player in the league. He has a bad game and no one says anything. It's like, well, like, first of all, you're saying that by tweeting that out. And second of all, like, I mean, the guy's like a 2-time MVP and a 3-time champion. Like, I mean, it's kind of hard to, like, diss him after one bad game. Like,
how are you going to say... Here's the thing that's funny to me, man. People are so contradictory on Twitter. They'll literally say, man, why is Dame getting slandered for one bad game? And then they'll go out and say the next day, why isn't Steph getting slandered for one bad game? Like, it's funny to me. It contradicts itself. Mm-hmm. It contradicts yourself. I get the logic like, oh, well, Dame got slandered, so everybody else should get too. But, like, it's a contradiction. You either stars should get slandered for one bad game. They shouldn't, but that could be your opinion, I guess, that every star should get slandered, including Dame, for one bad game. Or stars shouldn't get slandered for one bad game. I'm of the opinion that stars shouldn't get slandered for one bad game. And anybody doing that stuff on Twitter is either looking for attention or trying to trigger the fan base of that player. That's why I don't understand when people help them out with reaching their goals. They give them attention and they get triggered in their replies. And they give them exactly what they want. So then they'll slander Dame more the next time. And then you'll have people that buy in more the next time. And it's a repeating cycle. And it's just silly. It's just absolutely silly. So I don't participate in that. I don't. When somebody comes into the Twitter group chat that some of us are in asking for help, I don't rush to their aid in those battles. You know, it's just ridiculous, man.
Well, forgot what I was gonna say, but like, um, the problem is like if you're arguing like Dame versus Jokic, you can say, well, like they both been to one Western Conference Finals, they both like they played once in the playoffs and Dame's team won. So like maybe that's a fair argument or whatever, but like most of the people, if you're talking about playoffs, it's not going to be a good argument when it comes to Dame. And this is why we get so frustrated with the coaching, because like in an argument like that, you can't use coaching to like show why Dame's being misused in the playoffs and how he should be better, and it's because of coaching. But yeah, like if we had a better coach, like Dame, I don't think would struggle as much in the playoffs, and then we'd have completely different arguments. But you can't really use that context in those arguments, so it's so dumb to like even get into them because you're not going to win because they're never going to see the context that we see watching every single Blazer game.
Just troll them. If you really want to engage, just troll them, man. Like. Yeah.
That's what Java started doing.
I troll Melo fans. Like, I definitely troll Melo fans. Like,
and he's on your own.
Yeah, bro. But like, for me, it's like a lot. There's so many Melo fans that are so sensitive, man. You could literally just say Melo is a minus 14, and you'll have a guy saying, "I hate you. Why are you on his ass, man?" And then I'll just be like, "Why are you on mine?" Or he'll be like, I'll get like personally attacked for saying Melo is a minus 14 tonight. It's just funny to me that people care that much about one player that if you point out a fact that he's like a minus 14 in a game, they'll just come at you. So I've gotten to the point where I just troll Melo fans because of how sensitive a lot of them are and how riled up they get. So, like, I'll have fun with that, you know what I mean? And then, like, I'll argue, but, like, most of the time I'm just kind of trolling. Some of the stuff is serious, some is just trolling. I'm enjoying it, you know what I mean? That's what I get out of it. I just don't understand people that, like, get in these arguments that you can tell they're not enjoying and they're just angry. Like, I don't understand the gain there from engaging in that, so...
Hey, Java's in here. That's exactly who I was.
Javo, everything we've talked about the last 10 minutes applies to you and a lot of people on Twitter.
He started a group chat today with the sole purpose of getting a group together to combat people when they say bad stuff about David.
Javo, man, just let it rest. You're not going to gain anything out of it. You're just going to make it worse.
Oh no,
they're just going to slander him more.
Last night, bashing Curry.
Yeah, was that fun or?
He was having fun. It looked like.
I mean, if you have fun with it, you have fun with it, man. But a lot of these people, just the whole dynamic of NBA Twitter is extremely weird, man. And I know a lot of it is like 16-year-old kids and whatnot. So, you know, but you have adults that engage in that crap too, and it's just like, why?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't engage with that anymore. The only arguments I'll have is like. Honestly, I don't even have arguments with them anymore. Now I troll media and I troll Melo fans. I troll them. Like, that's about it. I might get in an argument here and there, but honestly, like, a lot of my Twitter is... There's two sides to my Twitter. There is the basketball side, which has, like, different traits. There's, like, the trolling Melo thing, the trolling media thing, and then, like, you know, actually analyzing the game and whatnot and tweeting about the game. I guess, like, sports Twitter, you know, I do tweet about football here and there and whatnot, and then there's, like, everything else, which is, like, completely different. So, yeah. If you want to follow me on Twitter, at ToryJonesYT is my handle. I'm sure most of you do if you have one that are watching this, because this is obviously our second channel. I appreciate you subscribing to our second channel. You guys are diehard fans for tuning in today. But yeah, anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, so let's just touch on the COVID thing real quick. There's a game canceled tonight due to Dallas having at least 3 players out for health and safety protocols, and I guess they had to shut down their facilities yesterday. And then there's already a game canceled tomorrow. I forgot which game, but then it's looking like there's going to be a second game canceled tomorrow because Miami just announced that they had 3 or 4 players also now in the health and safety protocols. So it's looking like two will get canceled. Tomorrow night, there's a meeting with the GMs tonight to go over some like roster things they can do to help and trying to get players and coaches to enforce some of the protocols. There's probably going to be some stricter things about like not hugging before games and that kind of stuff. And then the board of governors, so all the owners, I know they call them governors now, but they're all meeting tomorrow to discuss stuff too. So I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe found a way to expand rosters or something without it counting towards the salary cap. If you use like a certain pool of players or something.
Yeah, or creating some sort of exemption if you have players out due to contact and tracing protocol that while they're out for that period of time, you can have somebody signed to replace them for that period of time or something. Might be an idea that they could move forward with.
Yeah, so it's not looking good right now, but every sport has had this that hasn't been in a bubble, so just gotta push through.
We knew this was going to happen, man. We knew this was going to happen. This has happened in baseball. This has happened in college basketball. This didn't happen in the NFL, but they had to, like, I mean, it kind of did because they had to, like, really rework the schedule and, like, mold it around. And, you know, they only play once a week, so that's kind of the thing with them. And they also have 53-man rosters. So, you know, that's it's a little easier to not cancel games than when you're talking about playing like almost every other day and you only have 15-man rosters and whatnot. So, you know, but you look at baseball, man. You had like the St. Louis Cardinals had like 2 weeks in a row that were canceled, and they had to make them up with doubleheader. Now, obviously, you can't do a doubleheader in the NBA, but this is exactly why they released the schedule in 2 parts. This is why they haven't released the second part. And if it gets so bad in part 1, like if it gets like really, really bad and you have a ton of games being canceled, then I feel like there might be I don't know, like there would obviously be some CBA things to work out, but there might be a chance they reduce the season to 66 games or something like that. And try and work that out with the Players Association, and that's, you know, and then the second half of the schedule is based on that, you know, if it's threatening pushing the end of the season too far, like that's a possibility, and that's completely fine, you know what I mean? Like that's you know, something that could be in the cards. But here's the thing, like they're not gonna go back to a bubble. I saw somebody say bubble 2.0. They're not gonna go back to a bubble. They're not gonna do any of that stuff, you know. Hopefully by like March, April, it's going better than it is now. Here's the thing, like if you have more players get it, like players that get it now will or should be immune, you know, after you know they get rid of it and whatnot. So a lot of players are out, not necessarily because they have it, they just contact tracing and whatnot. But basically my whole entire point is near the end of the season it should be better than it is now. They are releasing the schedule in 2 parts to be flexible, and we knew this was going to happen. So everybody's screaming that the sky is falling and the NBA season's in jeopardy and all that. No.
Because of money, the players at some point will probably get the vaccination ahead of most of the public. So
the NBA has said they wouldn't jump the line.
Yeah. But you know, that's if it's bad and it's the difference between getting it or not, or getting a season through or not, they might do it. But I just feel like in general, people are just like, oh, the vaccination's out, we can go back to like being kind of reckless. And so, yeah, it's like, I mean, I don't think we need a lockdown or anything, but like, I wish people would still like adhere to some of the social distancing. But like, I've seen this on Twitter a lot today, like, oh, you guys wouldn't be saying to push through it if Dame or CJ got COVID. But there's 2 things I think about that. Like, one is you can do everything right and still get it. So I'm not like saying this is for sure what happened, but all these people on other teams that have gotten it, are we sure they weren't like breaking protocols or got caught doing stuff? So like, why should a team like the Blazers, if they did everything right and they're not going out to parties or strip clubs or whatever, like why would they have to cancel their season because they're doing stuff right? Versus other teams. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you look at, okay, so who are the teams like having issues right now? One of them's from Texas, one of them's from Florida. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but those are two states that have not handled this well at all and have loose restrictions.
Well,
you have
Boston has
Sixers and Boston, which like don't kind of fall in line with that. But I mean, you're talking about Oregon that has like some of the strictest guidelines in place. You're talking about we play like a lot of California teams, which are having a bad outbreak, but have strict guidelines in place. So you don't have strip clubs to go out to. You know what I mean? Whereas like in Texas, I don't know what the deal is in Texas, but I wouldn't be surprised if strip clubs are open.
It's this weird thing though where like there hasn't really been an outbreak on the Wizards, but like every team that's played the Wizards has had an outbreak or something. I don't know what that is, but
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is either. Maybe just a coincidence, but yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe it hits us, maybe it doesn't. But this is part of the season this year. This is something you just have to accept. And like, if that happens and Dame and CJ are missing time, it's like, okay, well, I'm going into this game with no expectations. Won't be that mad if we lose. You know, hopefully Anthony Simons can pop off for 30. You know, that'll be the mood, because this is something you have to accept with the season. So like, just because Dame and CJ get COVID doesn't mean the season should be canceled or it should stop, or the Blazers shouldn't play at all if they have a bunch of other guys that can suit up. Like, it's just something you have to accept with this year.
Yep.
So,
and hopefully it's just a bump in the road, but yeah, they did. As long as you can get through these games and don't have too many postponements, I don't think it'll be too bad. But I mean, you're going to have to deal with this kind of issue when you're not in a bubble. So I guess maybe it forces them towards the end of the season back in a bubble, maybe for the playoffs or the last little bit of the regular season or something. But I know they don't want to do that for 6 or 7 months.
Yep. NBA Forever says you're going to start the AAU program. I tweeted out that I want to start an AAU program after the pandemic. All right, so maybe ask me after the pandemic. Like, nothing has changed from yesterday to today. But like that's like a long-term future thing that I might not even do. I was just thinking about how it'd be cool to do that, because I was just thinking up sets and whatnot, different set designs. So that's the reason I tweeted that out. But Reese, yeah, no, you're gonna get cut. You can't hang. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else to talk about, like, relevant NBA-wise? I mean, you had Thomas Bryant tearing his ACL. That sucks. You've had a couple young guys go down. Thomas Bryant, Marco Fultz. That's not good to see, of course. They probably should have accepted Mo Wagner's option for next year, but they didn't. I need to check his stats and see how he's doing.
He's not doing well, but they don't really play him that much. You'd think, with Thomas Bryant going out, that they'd play him more, but
I mean, he's played 4 games, averaged 12 minutes per game, and he's averaging 6 points in those 12 minutes and shooting 67% from the field and 50% from 3. Free Mo Wagner. His per 36 stats in those, he's only played 48 minutes. Actually, let's just look at totals. He's played 46 minutes, but he has 23 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists in 46 minutes, shooting, 67% from the field and 50% from 3. I mean, it's very, very, very small sample size, but he balled out for them last year, man. I don't know why they're not giving him more run. Maybe he gets more run now that Bryant has gone down.
Because they're the Wizards. So
Speaking of the Wizards, they're actually, last I checked, they were up 19 against the Suns. Believe it or not. Nice. They are currently up 20 against the Suns. I'm cool if they win. I don't want the Suns to win, but that was my double down pick.
You and Trevin.
Speaking of Mo Wagner, in 7 minutes off the bench, he's 3 for 3 from the field, 1 for 1 from the 3-point line, and has 7 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist in 7 minutes.
A guy like that,
free him.
I don't understand why you wouldn't just trade him if you weren't going to play him and you weren't going to pick up his option. Like, trade him before that chance. I'm sure a team would take a flyer on him being a recent first-round pick or whatever. And a lot of teams talented. Like, OKC has a million trade exceptions. Like, you don't think they would give up, like, a second-round pick for him or something? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always liked this game, man. I don't know what Washington's doing with that, but the Wizards are now up 32 points
What?
with 5 minutes left in the second.
How did they get 12 points in like 5 seconds?
They are up 57-25. Bro, I just saw that. It was literally just 45-25. In the last... Jeez, dude. In the last minute 20, the Wizards have scored 12 points. You had... No, 6:13 remaining in the second. Davis Bertans makes 28-foot 3-point jumper. 5:40 left. Bradley Beal makes 22-foot pull-up jump shot. And it was an and one. He made the free throw. 5:33 left. Davis Bertans makes 27-foot 3-point jumper. And then, I don't know, it's not popping up on the play-by-play, but I guess they scored like 9 points in like 30 seconds. Dude, I don't know what's happening in this game. That's a shock to me, but yeah. Just 57-25. Where are all the Suns fans out at right now?
Have their whole starting lineup.
Devin Booker is negative 27 in 13 minutes. He's 4 for 9, has 8 points. Hasn't registered another stat other than the foul.
I see the Wizards' Twitter has a Latvian laser counter. He's got 3 laser counters so far.
Yeah, Bertans is 5 for 5. 5 for 5 from the 3-point line with 15 points. The Wizards are 8 for 14, 57% from the 3-point line. The Suns are 1 for 9.
You know what's hilarious? Here they are without Westbrook playing good again.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. That's funny. Honestly, Wagner played well off the bench. And Robin Lopez playing decent. But like, it's really just the Beal and Bertans show right now. Beal and Bertans have 31 points to the Suns' 25. Yikes. So, anyway, yeah, well, it looks like I lost that double down. Oh, well. The Knicks are up 1 against the Hornets. That bodes well for me. The Cavs are up 3 against the Grizzlies. The Bucks are up 7 with 4 minutes left in the second against the Magic. I'm hoping the Magic kind of pull that back there. And then the Sixers are up 2 early on in the first. 5:41 left there. So, yeah, we'll see how these scores pan out for picks against the spread.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, so... Anyway. Other than that, I don't know. I think it's about time we wrap up the stream at an hour. I think that's a good length for it. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. We will catch you tonight with the post-game show. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this game tonight and seeing how things pan out on the floor. Hopefully the Blazers can get the win. Anything else you want to sign off with, or am I good to wrap it up?
Just mixed bag. Unfortunately, we don't carry any kind of food or anything like that, so no, we don't have snow cone flavoring.
A snow cone sounds good.
Thank you for asking, though.
Yeah, snow cone sounds good right now. So, yeah. Anyway, I need my throat's dry. I need to go get some drink. I need to, go day drinking. No, I'm just kidding. I don't drink. But yeah. So anyway, I'll leave this stream. Where it lie. Let's get a win. All that good stuff. All that outro stuff, yada yada. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We will catch you guys later on tonight. Hope you have a good time. Until then, hopefully the Blazers can get this dub. Until then, as always, peace out.